how are you going to love somebody else if you can't fully love yourself? Every single aspect of who you are. It's impossible to. It's like I don't have love in my heart for myself. How am I supposed to find some love? Where does it exist? Where does it come from? And give it to you. If I don't have a Coke, how am I supposed to give you a Coke? You know, I can't. I don't have one yet. I have to find my own Coke. And then I can share the soda with you. And that's the way love is. If you don't love yourself, if you don't have love in your heart, it's very hard to share it with somebody else, genuinely. It can be a facade. I think that there's lots of relationships that have love, but it's not the love that loves on the hard days and the times that it doesn't feel easy.
I think, like,
what's your definition of love?
It's just sacrifice.
Sacrifice?
Yeah, it's just sacrifice. It's an ongoing thing, obviously, but I think my goal in life right now is just to make Savannah's life as easy as possible. And her goal is to make my life as easy as possible. And it's a competition of like, okay, how easy can I make your life? And hers is, the same. And that's just sacrifice. It's just human sacrifice. It's let me take some time today to devote 100% of my attention to you, whether that be in person or whether that be making your dinner or me going out of my way to make sure that she's fully taken care of. Is there anything that I can possibly do for you today? That is just me sacrificing myself to you. And it's an ongoing thing, but I think that is the true definition of love, in my opinion.
I like that answer.
I love that answer. I always thought I have the same definition, sacrifice. I thought of it completely different. I think that are you Christian? Or?
Yes, I definitely believe in God, and I think that there's a higher creator. I don't know exactly where I'm at in my journey, but I would identify myself as that.
Okay, yeah. So I like to use Jesus' sacrifice as like the definition of love because like you have this person that did all of this throughout his whole life, right? Devoted himself to other people, put other people first, blah 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 blah, and then he did the absolute craziest thing in the world, which is like die for everybody. Throughout the whole thing, through the torture, through the pain, through the cries, through the lack of any kind of love towards him, he was just like, no, I choose to love you even more. So that would be my definition of sacrifice. But I like what you said. I like how it's every single day striving to make each other's life easier, however that looks like, right? Like if you need a hug, I'll give you a hug. If you need me to cook dinner because you're tired from work, I'll cook you dinner, right? From both sides, right? Not just from her side, but also from your side. It's kind of like we were talking about earlier with Parker, right? As in like, we were talking about Caitlin. We were talking about something about Caitlin. Of like...
Compromise.
Yeah, like not necessarily compromising, right? But that's one of the things. It's just saying like communication, right? It takes communication. It takes trust. It takes her wanting to depend on you, like we said earlier, or like you choosing to... ignore not necessarily ignore, but put her first of how you're feeling, right? Because you want to do good by her.
Yeah, I think along that same line of thought, there is sacrifice, but it's more like, I don't feel like it's sacrifice because the only time that you give is when that person's battery, if you want to call it that person's emotional battery or physical battery is lower than yours. Mm-hmm. Like if I come home and I'm at 50%, but she's at 20%, we're gonna be equal by the time we go to bed. I'm gonna do whatever I can to bring her up at least to my level. And she does the same for me. Just like this morning, for example, we were in a bit of a rush, but I knew she wasn't feeling the greatest. And so I went and made breakfast and had breakfast for her. And she didn't even eat much of it, which is fine by me because it's my job as the man to provide for her when I know that there is anything that I can do to help. And I don't feel like that's it doesn't feel like sacrifice. Shouldn't feel like I'm having to, it's like, oh, I got to inconvenience myself to help you.
Yeah.
That's
you have to want to do it.
Oh yeah. I'm thrilled.
Be like dragging yourself through doing it.
Yeah. If that's the emotion you feel, there's a problem. There's a deeper problem than just dealing with the day in and day out right now.
Than making the breakfast.
Right. Right.
How do you also said in order to be able to love someone, you got to love yourself, right? Every single part of yourself. How do you achieve that from your personal journey?
It comes back to just to being 100% okay with who you are as a person. Like
And if you're not okay with it, I feel like you should see what you need to change. Like in my personal opinion, I think something I want to bring up a couple minutes ago is like, I hear you guys talking about that portion of it. I truly believe that as a person, I grew up knowing who I am as a person. Like I never really had doubt in who I was. I was always very committed to that. I think that's what kind of established me into finding a relationship earlier than most, like high school sweethearts getting married, is because I never had to really like find the love in myself to give that love to somebody. So I was always able to give my love to somebody because I never really questioned who I was as a person or if I was happy with myself. I knew I was a good person and was fine with that.
Yeah, I guess everybody's going to have a different answer to that,
Yeah.
or a different opinion in that aspect for themselves. I haven't always felt like I was a great person. I knew that I wasn't. There were a lot of times in my past that I was in very toxic relationships where I knew that there was a lot in regards to the relationship that I was causing downfall in, and it was both sides, of course. But it's like, okay, well, just because you're at 75% bad doesn't make it okay for me to be 50% bad. It's like that's not okay.
Bad is bad.
Right, bad is bad regardless of the level. And so I know that there were times in my past that I didn't feel like I was a great person, and that. Those are the times that it makes sense to step back. Even if you're in a relationship, it's like, hey, I need to take 4 hours a week to focus on me, whether that's reading about certain things in your life that you need to improve on, listening to podcasts, just studying, sitting and thinking, letting your brain talk to itself. Just sitting and thinking is huge sometimes. Sometimes you just need to relax and think, because all we do is scroll or we work or we're having conversation. Like your brain is hardly ever just sitting still and just doing brain things, which is called thinking.
Yes.
And I think more people need to just sit and think. And that helps in a lot of ways. It helps you understand who you are as a person and where you need to improve on. And just like you were saying, Parker, if you've never really felt like you've been in a position to find yourself, you've always kind of known who you are as a person. And so, I experience things a lot differently than you would in that sense. I knew that there were a lot of things that I needed to improve in.
Like, don't get me wrong, I did some shitty things. But I was never. It's hard to explain, but like I was never like depressed. Like I was never had anything like that. It was just like, yeah, I fucked up. I did something shitty and I learned from it. But I was never really like, oh, I don't know who I am anymore.
Yeah. No, I have.
I have too.
I've looked in the mirror and I was like, I don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
Like I don't recognize this guy. Like this isn't who I grew up with. This is not the guy that I woke up as for the last 20 years. This isn't him. I don't know who this is. And this is weird, and I don't like it anymore. It's time for change.
Damn, I feel like I'm talking to myself. It's kind of crazy. Jesus. It's.
But see, that's the thing. If you are okay with it and you're comfortable with it, then you'll realize, okay, this is weird, and I don't like this, and I need change. And that's when you're like, okay, we're going to go focus on me for a while. And then you get really good at being you.
Thank you so much for watching that clip. If you want to see the full-length interview, the full-length video, then just click right here. Come on. Click it now. You know you want to. You liked it, right? Click it right now.